Hey everyone, good evening. It is March 9th. Yes, I did say good evening. This is the second of the team captains meetings. First one went really well. Unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties and did not capture that meeting. Again, my apologies to that, but my hope is at the end of this, you will have some clarities to some of the questions that you may have. And like I mentioned, I will be willing to host a question and answer probably tomorrow night. I'll put that out, but I figure sooner rather than later since those questions will be fresh in your mind. So again, my apologies, but thank you for the understanding. The race is 4 weeks away, folks. It is coming fast. So, hopefully you guys are all ready. Hopefully everybody's healthy, and hopefully we'll get some stuff answered tonight. So let's move right along. First of all, here's all of our contact information. Most of you have mine and Adina's. Ruben Crane down there at the bottom is our LAPRAC general manager. If you're still trying to get some trademark agreement stuff taken care of, he is the man to reach. We do have that information on the website, but if you have questions, please reach out to him. These are some of our sponsors. My apologies to the sponsors that are going to watch this. I did not have all of them listed. Ruben Crane had an updated list, so I am sorry to those. Our title sponsor for this year's race is the Los Angeles Police Federal Credit Union. Daniel came on and he spoke to the group and he mentioned that, and I'm hoping I don't misspeak, Daniel, if you hear this later. He was mentioning that you guys can still reach out to him. They are uh, taking care of teams. They're sponsoring teams. It is county-wide, and if I'm not mistaken, they moved into Orange County and one other county. I forget which it is. But if you have questions, you can go to lapfcu.org, research and look up Daniel Signs. He is spearheading this along with Natalie, so they will be your contact people. Platinum sponsors, here we go. California Highway Patrol Credit Union, Verizon. They will be all over the race course providing communications for us. Los Angeles Police Protective League. Our gold sponsors are Peace Officers Association, Professional Association, Federal Credit Union. Silver sponsors are Mobile Relay Associates, National Life Group, U.S. Department of State, Bureau of Diplomatic Security, Peace Officers Research Association of California, and our water sponsor is 7-Eleven. Our next sponsor here is Smitty's Sign Works. For those of you who do not know, Smitty has done signs for the race for several years. That caution runner ahead sign that is listed in our rule book, Smitty can get that for you. He can also get you the team numbers, get you essentially anything that you need. However, again, we are only 4 weeks away, and he's not a miracle worker, so please reach out to him sooner rather than later if you're going to want him to do some things. His contact information is right there. He does appreciate phone calls. I did not list his email address. I did that purposely because Smitty likes to talk to people. So reach out to Smitty and get what you need. Race dates, if you don't know, you're in trouble, but just a quick reminder, April 9th and 10th, and the location is the Rio. We're excited to be there. This is our first year, our third year in our contract, but our first year to actually run the race there. So this is definitely a new chapter. Very excited to be at the Rio. The refund schedule is there. Not much left, but I do understand something is better than nothing. There are teams that unfortunately are struggling to put runners together, put a team together, and are short and are dropping out. I did have a couple teams recently drop out, so I do understand. But please also understand that this is the refund schedule. All right, so we have two websites. I'm going to break it down a little bit for you folks. I know you've been visiting both of them, but I'm going to try and make it a little bit easier for you guys. So on our traditional race website, the one that everyone is used to visiting, which is bakervegas.net. This is where you're going to get your communications form filled out, which is due by Friday. I've been being updated. I've been updated every single night by Jeff, and it looks like most of you are getting your forms completed. Very simple form. It's really just a click onto the Baker Vegas, pardon me, .net website, race course communications. It's the first tab, and all you got to do is click that button, answer a few questions. The information that you're going to need is your team number, as well as a couple of emergency contacts phone numbers. And really, that's it. It took me less than 2 minutes to complete that. So, again, due by Friday. Make sure that we get that done. Please don't have Jeff hunt you down and looking for you. Rental car bookings can be done through there, through Enterprise Travel and Accommodations. That's on there. We've also got the memorial slideshow. I sent out the email earlier. I can't remember if it was today or yesterday. Sorry, the days are blending together for me. And on there, I mentioned that we, again, had some difficulties, technical difficulties with that. And I was asking that you jump back on there and resubmit your information. That will be on that page. If you're having a hard time finding that, please reach out to me immediately so I can send you that link. We really want to honor the fallen. We understand that that's quite a few within the last couple of years, and we want to make sure that we get everybody's information on that into that website and get those photos downloaded so we can put that memorial slideshow together. Also there, you're going to be able to find the rule book. The rule book is on that website. It has all the information. If you haven't gone through it, it is an easy read. If you haven't gone through it, please go through it. You can break it down. You can give the van information to your follow vehicle people. Course description is in there. All kinds of good information regarding the race. So please make sure that you're taking a look at that rule book, because that is where the penalties are listed as well. The do's and don'ts, if you will, of the race. The registration website, this is the new one. And I put it in there. That's the way you have to type it in if you don't have it saved and bookmarked. It's registration.bakervegas.net. Okay, so this is where hopefully you've already visited and entered in your projected runtime, which is due today. I just got off the website and about half of you have done it. Very, very simple. If you go in there, you obviously know how to log in, but in case you don't remember, once you get on there, your username is your email address, your password you created, and once you get in, your team should be on top. Go over to the right. There is a small little pencil icon underneath the edit function. All you do is click on that pencil and scroll down towards the bottom, and it will there's a section there that asks for your estimated runtime. That's in hours, minutes, seconds. So please make sure that you submit that time. Once you've entered that in, scroll down to the bottom of that page, click save, and you are done. So please, that is due tonight. Again, there are a few hours. I do understand that. I'm not worried. I trust that all of you will get that information in for me tonight so I can start working on it, because I know all of you want to know what time you're starting. Can't do that until I get everybody's estimated runtime. Also, make sure that you are practicing, at minimum practicing, inviting your runners. And I say practicing because don't wait till the last minute. If all of you wait till the last minute and all of you have problems, chances are not everyone's going to get their questions answered. One of the big things is make sure you are not using work email addresses. Well, let me rephrase that. If you send out your runner registration link and your runners are saying, I did not receive it, and they've checked their junk mail, and you're using your department email addresses, then you need to switch to a personal email address. Some agencies are allowing these automated emails to go through. The vast majority are not. And I say that because I'm getting the bounce backs. I don't know who belongs to who, but I see the bounce backs come through. Things just aren't going through department emails. So just recognize that. Try and use the personal ones. And yes, every runner must register, whether they're an alternate or someone that you have that you're planning on assigning a leg. And the reason for that is because this year, that is how we're taking care of the waiver as well as the medical information. So please make sure that they're doing that. Let's talk a little bit since we're here. Um, Actually, I'll come back to that. So again, make sure that your runners are there. I'm trying to think of some of the pitfalls. Oh, this is also where you're going to assign your runners to their legs. I'm going to give you a very brief tutorial on that. So you are, again, once you're into the page there, your team is on top. You are going to look over to the right, and right next to that pencil icon under the word edit, there's another pencil icon under the word assign. You're going to click on that icon and your registered runners are going to appear. If they are in gray and their name is there, chances are you did something wrong. You probably tried to enter your runners for instead of having them register, so that won't work. If you see it in gray and an email address, that means you sent out the registration link. However, they have not completed it. I believe it's blue. I'm not on the system right now, but I believe it's blue that the name will be in if it is complete. And more importantly, you'll be able to drag that name into one of the legs. So that's where you'll stage up your runners, you'll scroll down to the bottom, and you will click save. The question came up, hey, what if I have my runner running as an alternate for, let's say, the first 5 legs? I can't put them in each spot. I understand that. That's not a problem. Just enter them in the first slot. And again, that runner can run any of the stages as an alternate, 1 through 20. It doesn't matter that they're just listed under number 1. They just have to get listed somewhere. Also, if you list them under number 1 and then you look at your lineup, you may have 2 runners on stage 1. That's just because one of them's listed as a substitute. So don't worry about that. As long as your runners are set, that's fine. The date for that uh, is the 4th, which I believe is the Monday of race week. That is when I am going to shut down the system. So Monday of race week, I'm looking at the calendar right now, is April 4th. So on April 4th at 12 o'clock, I am locking the system. All of your runners must be entered by that time. They all must be placed, and you must be ready to go. So please, April 4th by 12 o'clock, I'm locking the system, shutting down my computers, and I got to get some of that work done because I have to print out all of your run plans. So make sure that you are done before that date. Please don't call me saying, hey, I need it at 12:01. It's going to be too late. So please. That's some of the race day equipment. Again, the lighted vest. We're going to go from 1900 to 0700. Make sure that your runners have it. If they start the stage prior to 1900 hours, not a problem. It's not as though they have to stop and put on a vest. If they've started, then they're good. However, please make sure if your runner has a vest on, that bib is attached to the vest. I'll say that again. The bib number must be attached to the vest at the outermost layer, meaning essentially we've got to be able to see that bib. So if they put on their sweatshirt or something like that, or where they put, the bib number is underneath the vest and we can't see it, that is a penalty. So please make sure we can see that bib number. And make sure that if your runner leaves their stage, at 1900 hours or later that they have a lighted vest on. If it's close, just tell your runner to throw a vest on. It's the easiest thing. Follow vehicles. Make sure that you are looking through the rule book. I will put together a couple of videos sooner rather than later, and I will get that out to you guys. Since we're talking about follow vehicles, let's talk about the follow vehicle check-in section. All right, so that is about 25 miles before the start. I'm sorry, disregard. That's about 3 miles, I think, maybe even less than that from the start line, but it's about 20 to 25 miles from Baker School. So it is a little bit of a drive inward from Baker School. The area will be clearly marked. So my suggestion is that you're there an hour and a half prior to your runner starting. So if your runner's starting at 8 o'clock, I would be there by 6:30, so that way you can get your van ready. There will be a crew there that is going to go through the checklist, make sure that you have everything that you need. They are a well-educated crew that knows exactly what they're looking for. Make sure that you have all the necessary equipment. If you don't, you won't be allowed to get to the next section, which is the staging area. And if you can't get to the staging area, your runner cannot run. So please make sure that you have everything that is needed. Make sure that you're at the follow vehicle check-in area well in advance, like I say, an hour and a half, because you're going to, again, need to get your van ready. You're not the only van there that needs to be checked in. And then once they verify that you have everything, we have to line everybody up and then drive you over to the staging area in trail. So make sure that you are there early, make sure that you have all your equipment, and make sure that you are ready. Runners checking in at the stages, it's slightly different. So what we're normally used to is we'd walk up to the table. The RV support staff will be sitting there and we will show them our department IDs and they will give us one bib. We'll walk over, fill out the back of the bib, and then come back for our second bib. Well, this year we don't have to do that because what was on the back of the bib, you've already filled out through that runner registration link. So all you're going to do is you're going to show up, present your ID, a photo of your ID or a photocopy of your ID is sufficient, and they will hand you both bibs at that time. So please make sure that you have your IDs, your department IDs ready to go, either a picture of it on your phone or, like I said, a photocopy of it. Either one will suffice. Catchers, these are mandatory. Each runner needs a catcher. So let's talk about the role of a catcher for a little bit, especially for unique teams. The equipment that a catcher needs is a vest. Does not have to be a blinking vest, just has to be your standard vest. Make sure that you have your standard vest and make sure that you have your team number displayed on that vest. Now, the team captains will receive a packet on Friday, and in that packet on Friday will be bib numbers for the catchers and for the alternate runners. However, if you do not get one of those, do not worry about it. Just grab a sheet of paper, write your team number nice and legible from a distance, not close up, so that way people can identify you and what team you're with. Do not enter the shoot area until instructed to do so. It's okay to go ahead and line up in that area. Please, I don't need every team, just the teams that are starting to come in. Just make sure that you're in that area and that you have your runner ready. And then when you're instructed to, you'll come in, make sure you have a bottle of water, make sure the top of that water is loose or taken off already, so that way when your runner comes in, you can make sure that they're capable of standing on their own and you can give them that bottle of water. During the day, chances are medical staff's going to ask them a couple of questions and you're just going to be responsible for walking them out of the chute. Nighttime, I suggest you have blankets for them, something small. It doesn't have, I'm not talking about a quilt or anything like that. Just a blanket in case, again, they're hot and sweaty, and it can get really cold, especially on 15, 16, 14. So you might want to have a blanket there, but always have water for them ready to go. That is mandatory to have water. Stage 18. Oh, let me back up. Catchers at stage 20, at the finish line, rather. At the finish line. Catchers at the finish line, there are none needed. I assume there will be somebody there to cheer your runner coming into the finish line, but we won't have people lining up in the at the end at the finish line. It gets just a little too crowded, so we will have enough staff to take care of your runners. Just make sure that you're in the area, and we'll walk them out. Stage 18. This one's a big one. Okay. So we have been given permission to run through the area. The county has said yes. The construction company, they are great people who are working with us. But you need to be flexible with this plan. And I say that because this is the plan as of right now. However, it may change. So at 18, where everything is normal at the start, at about a mile into your run, your runner is going to have to transition to the sidewalk and run on the sidewalk for about a mile to a mile and a half. At that point in time, as they're running on the sidewalk, you, the follow vehicle, will drive straight through and meet your runner at the intersection of Fort Apache and Warm Springs. As you drive through there, when you get to Warm Springs, you're going to make a left-hand turn, a westbound turn, and you're going to stage up in an empty lot there. I will have volunteers there staging you up, and I will also have volunteers on the other side of the street with radios communicating as your runner comes through, so you can fall in behind them as they cross Warm Springs. Runners must run on the sidewalk. If there is proof of them through photograph of them running on the street, that team will be disqualified. That's how important this is. Your runner's safety is far more important than where they place. So please understand that, and we say that because it's single lane there. Okay, where the construction is, I just came from there. It is single lane, and the last thing we need is for a runner to get hit. So the question came up, hey, what if there's a foot race? What if it's close? We're so far out from the finish line at that point in time. If there's a foot race, hey, your runners are amazing because that means they're sprinting the entire thing. So please understand that. Be reasonable, people. We want to continue to receive these permits. And like I said, ultimately what's important is your runner's safety. So please make sure that you're talking with your runners. We will have volunteers out there directing them when they have to get onto the sidewalk and when they can get off the sidewalk. But again, just know that you must be flexible because this might change midweek next week. So this is what it is today and today only. I don't know if it'll change. I'm staying in contact with the construction company. As of today, this is the exact same plan that I discussed with them last week. So that's where we are at. It says there the follow vehicle plan to follow. I will write something up as we get closer and send it out. Like I said, I've described it to you. You'll continue down Fort Apache, westbound turn at Warm Springs, empty lot. You're going to stage up, and as your runner comes through, we will announce it, and the volunteer there will let you know your runner is coming. As your runner crosses Warm Springs, it is a controlled intersection by Las Vegas Metro. As your runner crosses, you will leave and you will fall in behind your runner. Stage 16, the archery range. We are back. at the archery range, and you will have a parking pass to get up there, parking placard. No way around it. There is nowhere else for us to stage up at 16. There is not enough room anywhere on that highway to safely put the amount of vehicles that we have, plus an exchange point. So the archery range is our best option, and that is why we are continuing to stay there. Yes, I understand that it makes things a little bit difficult because only one car can go up there, but again, that is our only option. So for the new teams, here's how it works. You will be given, your team captain, let me rephrase, that will be given a parking placard in their package on Friday night. It is their responsibility to get it to whoever is driving the stage 16 runner to their position. So what will happen is you'll show that placard, you'll drive up to the archery range, park, check your runner in, you and your runner will walk down to the exchange point. As the stage 15 runner comes in, you will catch that person. And I say that because, again, no one else can get up there. You'll then take that person over to stage 17 or wherever else is designated by your team, and then continue on from there. So it's a little bit of a leapfrog. I can't guarantee you with traffic and everything that you will make it from 16 to 17. That all depends upon how good of a runner you have, and by the time you park and get out there. So you may want to have somebody else catch at 17. So just be advised. Runner placement, we talked about that, making sure that you do that. And if you have some runners in there right now, start messing with the system. Don't wait till the last minute. Start messing with it now. Again, on the left-hand side of the, when you get into the system at registration.bakervegas.net, on the left-hand side of the system, click on the Teams tab, and then your team will be on top. Go to the right, and under the word assign is a pencil icon. Click on that, and you can manipulate your runners and place them wherever you need to place them. Make sure that you're working on that, please. Let's talk about Friday check-in. So again, this is our first year at the Rio. Check-in procedure is going to be slightly different. We'll be in the pavilion area. It'll be clearly marked. Down there, you will check in. You will get your bibs. You'll get your run plan. You will get your coin. And if you have t-shirts that are waiting for you, they'll be down there as well. Registration check-in is going to be from 1500 to 1700. I will also be down in that area that entire time. Do not email me. You can try calling me. I will pick up if I don't have 10 or 12 people around me asking me questions. I will pick up the phone, but if I've got multiple people there, obviously it's going to be difficult for me to pick up. Any important news relevant to the race, I will put out via YouTube that night. So, but again, I know and I understand there may be some questions. Friday check-in, in order for someone to pick up your packet, meaning, hey, the team captain's stuck in traffic on the way to Vegas, because traffic can be horrendous, I get it. That person must be on your run roster. We will not just hand your run roster to anybody. Okay, so please understand that, because they're going to have to sign for that. They must have their department ID, show that. We'll have them print and sign for their packet, and in that packet, you will have your catcher bibs, your alternate bibs, and your run placard as well as your coin. Let's talk about the alternate bibs and alternates for 1 second. So your alternate bibs, so if a runner, I'll give you a scenario. So if a runner is scheduled to run stage 2, and for whatever reason they don't make it out there, traffic, or they forgot, or they're on a heater at the table and they didn't want to leave. Hey, it happens. It is Vegas. So your alternate can start that leg. However, in order for it not to be a penalty, they must check in. They must check in with the RV staff. They must get that white bib, put that white bib on, and then take off running. There is no penalty for that. That alternate now obviously is done for the race. They cannot run multiple legs, so they are done. If that stage 2 runner or that runner who missed their stage shows up, you can use them elsewhere if you want. No penalties for that. If a runner goes down and an alternate gets out and runs for them with the alternate bib on, then that is a penalty, a 10-point penalty. It was pointed out to me that the penalty is described for a down runner in our rule book. However, the point system was not listed. It is a 10-minute penalty. So understand that if your runner starts the leg with a white bib and finishes the leg with a white bib, no penalty. Even if they're an alternate and as long as they checked in at the beginning, then you're good. If they're alternates, then there is a 10-minute penalty. The alternate bib color is going to be yellow. So yellow bibs are alternates, green are catchers. Both colors will be in your packet. So again, that person will come down to the rotunda area, check in at check-in registration, get their packets, and that will be that. That's all that you have scheduled for that night. The finish line, again, a little bit differently. As a follow vehicle, you're going to be coming into the Rio parking lot because your runner finishes in the parking lot prior to going into the convention area. As you come in, your runner is going to make a right and go through the employee parking lot. They will no longer need you at that point, and nor will you be allowed into that area. As a follow vehicle, you can continue straight into that parking lot and park your vehicle. There is a back door into the convention area. As you enter that back door, there will be a desk set up to receive your run plan. Any changes that you made to your run plan should be noted on the run plan that we gave you. So if you switched runners, if you had a downed runner, that should be labeled with DR, and the alternate should be inserted. The scenario that I gave you earlier, if that occurs, that person's name should be crossed out, simple line across their names, and the person who ran the leg should be inserted, and that is going to be turned in. You are going to be asked to sign it at the bottom. You're going to be asked to take a photo of it because that is your proof, and then you're going to turn it in. You then will have a set amount of time to go back into the system and make your changes. I say set amount of time because I haven't decided when I want that all completed. I'm trying to be reasonable. I know everyone will be fatigued and all that, but sooner rather than later is always better. I will let you guys know when that time is. So once you're done with that, you're done. You can go in and watch the finish if you want, or you can just call it a night, whatever you choose. So that will be the finishing part of the race there, the finish line. Trying to think what other questions we may have had earlier today. I think I covered most of it this time around. So if you do have questions, what I'll do is I will schedule. Today is Wednesday. I will put it out in an email. I will have a question and answer session tomorrow evening. Just not sure of the time, but I'll put it out later on. And I'll give you guys the opportunity to log into a Zoom forum, and we can answer any questions you may have. All right, you guys, thank you for your time. Hopefully I was able to answer most, if not all of your questions. You guys take care, stay safe, and continue to train. All right, guys, see ya.